Today we are going to make a railway lamb curry from my book, The Curry Guy Slow Cooker. This is so easy, fuss-free. Let's get started. So railway lamb curry is one of my most popular recipes from my book, The Curry Guy Bible. And so I had to put kind of a tweaked version into the slow cooker because it works so well, just slow cooking for a few hours in a slow cooker. And to do that, I've had to put all my ingredients together. So I recommend you do the same. I have my wife, Caroline. Say hi, Caroline.
Hello.
Yes, Caroline put these all out for me so that they're ready to add, and just makes things a lot easier for you in the kitchen. So I've got all of my ingredients here, all laid out, and we're going to get cooking now. I've got some mustard oil here, and I'm just going to add that to this slow cooker, which is on searing mode. You can do this in a pan as well. So all this stuff can be done in a pan, or if you're really just feeling lazy one day and you just want to cook a curry and you don't want to do all this, throw everything in your slow cooker and let it do its job. That'll work too. But you'll get a little bit better results if you do exactly as I'm doing here. So I'm going to let that heat up a bit before adding some spices. And while that is heating up, I'd like to ask you, I've been cooking, putting out about 2 videos a week now from my cookbooks, just recipes from the books. And I'd like to hear back from you. What would you like to see me film? Is there something from my books or on my blog that you would like to have me film for this YouTube channel? That's why I'm doing it for you. So please let me know and in the comments below, and I'll make sure that that gets cooked. The most popular requests will of course be cooked first, and we'll do that. So to this hot oil now, this hot mustard oil, I'm going to add some dried chilies. These are dried Kashmiri chilies. I got some cardamom pods, which have been just lightly bruised, and a cinnamon stick. And we're just gonna let that infuse right into that oil. And I'd like to point out that everything that I'm doing here, all the ingredients, no matter where you're watching this video, whether it be on YouTube or on my blog, you'll find them all listed. So you don't have to memorize what I'm doing as I cook. Just look down below and you'll see what's going into it. So we've let that kind of just infuse, these spices infuse into that oil there. So I'm gonna go ahead now and I'm gonna add some curry leaves, my favorite herb of all time. I'm just gonna let those go in there. You got as many as you like. They're just, they really add to a dish. There we are. And just kind of, you just let the aroma, when that aroma hits you in the face, you know it's time to add your onions. So we're gonna add, I got 2 medium red onions here, finely chopped. And we're just gonna let those sizzle in that oily mixture. I added quite a lot of oil, you might have noticed. There's about 1/4 cup or 5 tablespoons. And that's because this curry is normally a bit glossy when it's served. So if you're cutting back on the calories and you don't want to do that, just add about 2 tablespoons. You don't have to add all that oil. All these recipes should be done to your liking, your preference. If you want it spicier, add more chilies. If you want it less spicy, add fewer. To these onions, I'm going to go ahead and add just a pinch of salt here. And that's going to help the moisture come out of the onions and make them cook a little bit faster as well. So if you've seen my other video for railway lamb curry that was done the authentic, the traditional way in a pot, you'll know that this is an Anglo-Indian dish. So it was developed in India for the British palate here in the days of the British Raj. And it is really, the first time I learned how to make it, it was actually being served in the back of a restaurant as a staff curry. Just because it wasn't, they didn't even have it on their menu. They were serving it to the staff in the back. And it is really probably one of mine. I know, Caroline, it's one of your favorites, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it, yes.
Yeah. So it's it's just a simple lamb curry that also happens to taste amazing. Okay, to this I'm going to add some chilies, some green finger chilies there. I've only added about 2 because I don't want to make this really spicy, but if you like a spicy curry, definitely add more. And as those onions are beginning to brown now and really break down, we're going to add some garlic and ginger paste. So this garlic and ginger paste is going to go in, 2 tablespoons of garlic and ginger paste, and we're just going to stir that right in there like that. If you were cooking this in a pot, you'd have to add a lot of stock, and you'd just let the stock cook down and thicken as you cook it. But when you're cooking in a slow cooker, you don't want to add very much moisture. And so you're going to see I'm going to add very little moisture to this in the form of coconut milk and also chopped tomatoes. Because when it's cooked in that environment, that closed environment like that, over a slow cooker, low heat, the liquid doesn't really evaporate. It just stays in there, and you just get a nice sauce without having to really stand over your hob and work on it. Okay, so now I've got my spices, which are coriander, cumin, turmeric, and also a little bit of chili powder. And that too, if you wanted to make it less spicy, you could use some paprika. That's going to go in there too. Stir that all together. And that's really our base masala there. I'm going to add this lamb to it.
Lamb on the bone, isn't it? Delicious. That's
yeah.
where the flavour comes from, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I was almost forgetting to say that. This is lamb on the bone. If you don't like lamb on the bone, you can also do it with lamb off the bone, but you will get a little bit more, a nicer flavor, more depth of flavor if you cook it on the bone. You can get that at most Indian grocers. It's ready. That's the way they like to serve it up and sell it. So it's very easy to find, and you will get a better flavor if you don't mind the bones. All right. Now I'm just going to sear that for a little bit. I just want that meat to just kind of sit there and get to know those other ingredients. Not too much because it's just a stew. We're stewing it. So we're fine just to kind of go with that. There we are. Now to that, I'm going to add some chopped tomatoes, about 200 grams of chopped tomatoes. Because we're not adding a lot of liquid to this, I'm also going to add some puree, some concentrate, tomato concentrate, about a tablespoon of that. That's optional, but it'll give it more depth. Stir that all in.
They were tin tomatoes, weren't they?
Yeah, these were tinned tomatoes. You could use passata as well, whatever's convenient. Yeah, these ones were the chopped ones you get in a tin. And then, let's see, okay, we got some potatoes here. We're gonna add those to it as well. Just cut into like bite-sized pieces, not very large. Just get that all mixed in together. Okay, now we'll add the coconut milk. Other versions of this use yogurt, so you could actually add some yogurt to this instead, the same amount. This is about 200 milliliters, if I can get it all out, of coconut milk, or use yogurt. The coconut milk will give it a slightly sweeter flavor. There we are. So if you look at this very closely now, as I've been stirring it all in there, it looks quite thick, and that's what we want. Because as it cooks, the potatoes have a lot of water in them, the meat, all the vegetables, they're gonna release liquid as well, and we're gonna end up with the most perfect sauce at the end. So I'm just gonna put those all in there like that. I think I'll add a little bit of this tamarind. You can add the tamarind at the end or before cooking. not just for a bit of sourness, tartness. There we are. There. Now, I'm just gonna cover that. I'm going to slow cook this for 4 hours on high. And if you wanted to go out for the day and come back to a perfect curry and need a little bit more time, you could put it on low and you can cook it for 6 to 8 hours. It's ready when it's ready though. When you get home, you try it, taste it, make sure that meat is really good and tender, because that's what it's all about. But we'll come back and we'll see what this looks like in 4 hours, and we'll give it a taste test. So the time has come to see how we've done. This has been simmering on high for about 4 hours. That looks perfect. Look at that. The sauce is thick and nice. Let's see how the potatoes are. Oh yeah, the potatoes are perfect. They're just like, you can cut right into them with a plastic spoon. So they are perfect. I just need to add a little bit of salt to this. And we're gonna add some cassoulet methi as well. Just by rubbing it between my fingers. A little bit of coriander. And some lime juice. Just give it a nice tart flavor at the end. Always add your lime juice or lemon juice at the end of cooking, because it'll cook out. The flavor will cook out and it won't be as pronounced. You stir this in. I'll give it a try. Get a nice big piece of meat there just to make sure I've boneless meat. Make sure I've got it nice and tender. I'm telling you, if you like railway lamb curry, like I know you do, and a lot of people do, but you don't want to be standing over your stove, that's the way you want to cook it. It's just as good, if not better. And it's so fuss-free. It's just, there's nothing you have to do to this except for let it cook on its own in a slow cooker. Really, really good. Let's see what it looks like served up. This Anglo-Indian curry is all about tender lamb, warming spices, and that signature tangy kick. Cooked low and slow, the lamb becomes melt in the mouth soft, while all the flavors develop into a rich, comforting sauce. This is one you've got to try, and it's so good cooked in a slow cooker.